Hello, and welcome to Superbwoman Sundays at 7. I'm your host, Janet Neal of The Superbwoman, the founder and queen bee of The Superbwoman, by the way. I'm so happy that you're here with us tonight. We have a very exciting guest tonight, and we'll get to her in just a minute. But first of all, for those of you who are new to the program, let me tell you a little bit about why I started this. My belief is that women have the answer to saving this world, and many of us do not realize we have any power at all, or we're giving it away. And so my belief is that when women learn to take that step back and not be that superwoman, the woman who's do all the time, but to take that step back, to learn to be themselves, to identify what their values are, their strengths, their talents, their passions, and be able to craft and live a life that utilizes all of that, that is very powerful. And it puts out amazing positive energy that all of us need. So the Superbwoman is all about the bee. And that's what this program is all about. I have been so fortunate to meet these amazing, superb women on my path of late. And I get so inspired by them. I get so motivated by them. And I know that their stories, if it does it to me, it's going to do it for another woman as well. And that's why I bring this to you. I want you to meet these women, to be inspired by them, and then to do the same for yourself, to listen to what they have done for themselves, how they have been able to understand what's important to them and be able to step into their power. And tonight's guest is no different, Genevieve Piturro. Genevieve and I met. We were both attending a panel discussion where women from a variety of different industries, high-power women, were talking about balance in their lives, which is a whole nother discussion. We could take that offline. But it was a great discussion. And Genevieve and I were sitting at the same table, and we just started talking. And I tell you these stories because it's important to put yourself out there, to just start asking questions, because you never know who you're going to meet. If I hadn't said, what do you do, and how did you get into that, I would never have heard this great story. So what I heard was that she had started off as a radio personality, and then went over to television, doing syndication for television. But let her tell you her story. So Genevieve, welcome.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, welcome. So tell us your story. You pick up from where I left off there, where we were talking about how you were in this television syndication, and then what happened?
Well, you never know what life has in store. And I was a workaholic, as you said, in television syndication, doing marketing for many years, and loved my life. Thought I had a great life. I had an apartment, I had friends, I had family nearby, and I was a single working girl and totally workaholic. One day I was about 38, and for some reason I took a moment and I said to myself, if this is the next 30 years, is this okay? I don't know why I asked myself that question, but I sort of did casually. And I really expected to say, this is great, of course, but I didn't. There was something inside me that sort of nudged me, made me think, and actually I felt, I think I missed something. And nobody could have been more shocked than I was. And I realized I hadn't made time for the right person and get married, didn't have children, thought I had enough with nephews and nieces, 2 godsons, but apparently something inside me said, nope, missed something. So I knew quickly it was children, little children. So I had been single for a long time. And, you know, sometimes the universe has a way of helping you find what you need. So I thought long and hard about what I had missed and what I could do to make up for something in my life. And didn't really want to go out and get married and have kids just for what was missing. But I thought, what else could I do? And I thought I could read to children in shelters. I met somebody along the way, and P.S. married him later, who sort of got me and got that. Also was a little older than me, also had never been married, no kids, sort of understood what I was going through. and was very, very supportive. So I started to read in shelters at night in Manhattan, in Westchester, anywhere people told me there were children who were in need and taken out of their homes because of a very bad situation. They were hurt or neglected. So I went to read. And my new boyfriend took me and would wait for me, and I'd go and read for an hour, bring books, and leave them. One night, as I was leaving, I turned and watched where the very nice staff were taking the kids into the next room to go to sleep. It was an emergency shelter. And I peeked in, and I saw the staff helping the kids, 2, 3, to a futon, to a cot, nothing to change into, in their clothes. They were sniffling and lights out. And to me, it was so abrupt. And as nice as they were, it was not the right bedtime. And I flashed immediately on when I was a child, one of 4 kids, my mom at the bed, reading us stories. It all came back to me in seconds that this was all wrong, and my heart broke. So they closed the door, and I asked if I could bring some pajamas next week. I don't know why, that's what came out. Could I bring some pajamas? And the staff said, oh, that's so sweet. Sure. We never know the children, the time of when you're coming, so bring enough for a variety of kids. And I did. And I couldn't think of anything else all week. I bought beautiful pajamas in all sizes, about a dozen children. I went back. I read to the children, and then I was so excited. I thought I had this dozen pairs of pajamas, make a big difference. And I said, kids, I have a surprise for you tonight. And I had them all stand up and get in line. I told them I had a present for them. Gave them the books, and then I started to hand out the pajamas. I took them out of the bag one by one, what would fit. One little girl, I kept giving her one. She wouldn't take it. She wouldn't take it, but she watched me give them one by one to the other kids. She just stood next to me. Finally, I looked at her at the end, and I said, honey, these are for you. Wouldn't you like your pajamas? And she looked at me, and she finally said something. What she said was, what are they? And I couldn't believe she meant, what are pajamas? And that's what she meant. And I don't know how I held it together. It was heartbreaking. And I really took everything I could to just say to her calmly, they're pajamas. You change now. You take off your clothes, and you put these nice, soft, pretty, comfortable pajamas on. It makes you sleep better. And we changed her, and she loved them. And then I broke down when she was out of sight, because I couldn't believe I heard what happened to her and how many kids like this were in my backyard.
Wow. I know. I remember. I get goosebumps. I remember you telling me that story, and wow, that's so incredible. Pajamas. Yeah, I would never even think about that. So then what happened?
So I told my boyfriend at the time, and he got it, and I said, I have to do something. And from being a workaholic to being obsessed with this little girl and how many more there would be and how many pajamas and books could I get, I thought of nothing else. I was on my mission, and I was just obsessed. And my husband became my husband. He understood then exactly what, and he did everything he could to support me. And we would talk, and we would just go and get pajamas, and he would drive me, and I would bring them. And so many people, as they heard about what I was doing, would drop off new pajamas, give me new pajamas, give me money to buy new pajamas, and I kept going back to these places. And what really was the most amazing thing was a national magazine said, are you the lady with the pajamas in Harlem? Where I was, and somebody must have told her. And I laughed, and I said, I guess so. And the editor said, we'd like to write a little story, just a little story, if that's okay. So I said, sure. So they wrote a little story, and 9/11 happened, and the presses stopped. So the story, the magazine for the issue wasn't published. Everything stopped. Then actually, a couple months later, they called back, everyone who they had called to say we stopped publishing because of 9/11, waiting to see what happened. They said, we're publishing, and your story's going to run in the December-January double issue. I said, okay, didn't know what to expect. When that story ran this big, people just went out to buy pajamas, because days after it hit the newsstand, packages, thousands of boxes, letters on my doorstep. Everybody wanted to help these kids. And here in New York, in the East Coast, everywhere, people we loved each other, if you remember. It wasn't anything we do for each other. And people felt it. And they felt what I felt about it being wrong that these children didn't have pajamas. And I looked at my fiancé, his name is Dimo, and we looked at each other, and I said, I have no choice. This is it. And he said, go for it.
Wow. How special. So
So,
then you were working up until that point, and then you quit and went to start this.
well, I wish it was that easy. I was working, and I had my cell phone, which was the Pajama Program phone, and the shelters were calling me, and people were calling me about the kids, and I was sort of hiding from my bosses with my cell phone and taking notes and sending packages out, and just making a mess of my real job because this was all I cared about. So finally, before getting fired, I said, let me see if I can find a part-time job. I found a part-time job. It became overwhelming for the part-time job as well. So
Mm.
in the meantime, I married Demo, and he said, let's see what we can do if you quit, if we can make it. And I worked 24/7, him helping, everybody helping, to see if we could get grants and get up to speed. So after many nights of popcorn dinners, it sort of slowly took off, and everything was cut back, and my life changed, but it became fuller of the right things.
Mm. Oh, that's so special. So today you're a 501(c)(3), correct?
Yes, we are. 13
And
years later.
you're nationwide?
We are nationwide. We have about 60 chapters in 34 states and 3 reading centers. And in New York City, that's our headquarters. We have our largest reading center.
Oh, that's fabulous. So do you get around and still do some of the reading to play to the kids?
I see the kids every day. They walk right by my door and they smile, and
Ah,
when they come in, they don't know what to expect. They know it's a reading party because so many of these children, when they're taken out of homes, they're taken out of school at the same time until judges and family gets involved and figures out where the children will be, what the next step is. So reading is really important to them. And of course, bedtime reading and pajamas go together, and that was always that special niche. So when I see them come in a little bit nervous, I don't know what they're going to do there, they come past my door, and after an hour of reading and the presentation of the pajamas and the books to each one, making them feel so special, they're clapping and cheering for them. When they're leaving and they walk right past all of us, their expressions are just joyous, and they are so relaxed and just loving every minute, and it's so funny to see them come in so nervous, not knowing what to expect, and leaving, when can we come back?
oh, that's so special. How rewarding. Well, you truly are an example of a superb woman, as I just defined, somebody who's taken the time to understand what's important to you, and you are being yourself. Um, so kudos to you for all that you do.
Takes a lot of people. We have so many people. We have so many volunteers, and we have sponsors. I mean, Carter's, who can ask for a better pajama partner?
Yeah.
They're our lead partner. Scholastic is our book partner. Who can ask for a better book partner? Thousands of people doing drives, and so many people, stores and retailers and publishers are helping, and we need individuals who are doing drives every day to just complement everything that the bigger companies can and do.
Oh, that's fabulous. So you just mentioned a bunch of people who have helped you on your path. Who's helped you? Who else has helped you on your path to get where you are today?
That's a great question, and I have to say honestly, we don't. I think it takes certain times in our lives when we think about how we were raised, and when I flashed on my bedtime and I saw my mom in my memory sitting at my bed, after 38 years of thinking about my life and everything, and always thankful on Mother's Day and loving my mom, never realized until that moment what she gave me when she gave me
Mm.
that bedtime experience. And I carry that with me every day, especially these last 13 years when I see these children every day and know what they don't have. I'm trying to give them a piece of what my mother gave me, the bonding, the love, the comfort, the stability, the reassurance that it's going to be okay tomorrow. That's what my mom gave me, and I never thought of it 38 years. And
Right.
so she's always there in my acts, and all the acts that we all do and perform by just giving pajamas and books. And my husband has been supportive from day one, and I think everybody needs a best friend who is going to help you. And for me, that's been him, very spiritual and sort of the rock when I go crazy and panic.
That's very special. Very special indeed. So the other thing that I talk about as far as being a superb woman is that superb women strive to live should-free lives. That they release the should, because the should holds all the guilt, and when we let go of the should, there goes the guilt. So, what's one should that you have released?
How about one that I'm still trying to release, but I think I'd put it at the top of my list. I've thought for a long time, and sometimes still do with the guilt that you mentioned, is I should be able to make a lot of people happy. And I'm not talking about the children that we see. That is my job, to give them some joy. But other people that I come in contact with, it's taken me a long time to really be able to say it's not my job to make all those other people happy. I can contribute by the way I treat people and my relationship with them, but I can't make them happy as much as I have tried. When people are stuck, it takes a lot of effort to work it if they're not working it. So if somebody else is trying to be happy, then it's easy. You want to do your half as their friend. But if you realize they're not pulling their weight in the happiness trail, it's hard to make them happy. And as much as I try, I should be able to. I should be able to make a difference. I can't be the only one doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I can relate to that one. And I heard someone say once, what somebody thinks is of me is none of my business, and it's the same kind of thing that, if they're not happy with their lives, you're absolutely right. It takes a lot of energy if you're just trying to make somebody else happy all the time. And boy, you have great energy, and to be able to put that out there for the kids, boy, it's a good thing that you're learning that lesson along the way.
It's hard sometimes. You still, I think,
oh, yeah.
A lot of us women, it's the part of us that wants to really nurture, and we think that's our job.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking before we went on the air about kids, and, I have children, but boy, just your story about, 38 years old, not having any kids, and realizing that's what you want, and here you have thousands of kids in your life. So what a blessing to be able to reframe that and look at it that way.
I like to think that I have a tiny bit of mothering duty with them, but I give them back. I can't say I know what it's like to be a mother. My sister and my mom, my friends are mothers. It's a tough job, and I do feel some of the hurt when I see what our children have been through. But I'm not a mother like they are. I'm just a mother for a niche, a tiny piece of their lives, and in most cases remotely. But I think that's the way I was my path to help bring something to these children, since I didn't have my own.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness you're on this path, because boy, you have made a difference. You have touched children's lives, so that's a wonderful thing.
Oh, thank you. A lot of people.
Yeah. I just want to remind our viewers out there who are watching this live, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask away, send it in on the chat, and I will make sure that those get asked. So, what's next for you? Tell us what's going on with the charity and what's next.
Well, there are still a lot of places, a lot of cities, several states where we don't have our chapter presidents. Our chapter presidents are volunteer, and like I said, over 30 states. But there's still those states, northern states. Now it's so cold, it's danger season. October 1st starts danger season, goes all the way through to April. So we want to still open more chapters. We want every city and every state to be represented. So we have our work cut out for us, especially now for the cold season, to make sure we can reach out and have more chapter presidents representing the local children, because everything we do stays local. So we do need those chapters still in the northern parts of the U.S. And we've been in our new reading center for 1 year, so that was a very big step. So we just want to make sure that we're secure, and we have 6,000 children coming through the New York City Reading Center. and that's really important to bring even more to what we're doing. And our big endeavor now is 1 million good nights. So we have, as I said, Carter's is our lead sponsor for pajamas, and also Scholastic is our book partner, and that is a promise for 1 million children to receive a new pair of pajamas and a new book by the end of 2015. So that's what we're looking at. That's our goal. And after that, I can breathe for about 20 seconds and then figure out how to get the rest of those children off our wait list.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So is this on your website about the volunteer positions?
Yes, everything is, everyone can reach us at, you can call us in the New York City Reading Center, which is our headquarters. You can email us on the website and say you've seen us on Superbwoman. You'll give me a link, and then I will be able to share that. And people can ask anything they want about how they can volunteer locally, if they're in another state. They can watch us on the link and learn a little bit more, and we'd love to have more help.
That's fabulous. Yes, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you'll see at the end of this, there'll be a slide with information on how to get a hold of the Pajama Program. So tell me a little bit more. Just I'm a little unclear. So I understand the New York situation with you've got a physical location and the kids come in there. So let's say, tell me another city remotely from New York that you're operational in.
Wherever we have chapter presidents, they are mostly working out of their homes, and chapter presidents are responsible for organizing all the drives that people want to have locally and starting some drives. If they want to do fundraising, they can. But once they have those drives completed, then they marry them to the list of what we call receiving organizations. And those are shelters, group homes, groups that care for children in need. They will send those collections to those places that are waiting on our wait list for those sizes. So it's a marriage between who's doing the drives and who's collecting and who needs them. And like I said, if it's done, a drive's done locally, then we set them up with who needs them locally. Whether we have a chapter president there to handle it personally, that's always our first choice. If there isn't a chapter president and someone does a drive, they contact us and we tell them where, close by to them, they can bring them, so that there doesn't have to be a middleman ever and everything stays local. So most of them are women. Most of them are working out of their homes. Some are have incredibly busy jobs. Some are attorneys and nurses and teachers, and some are stay-at-home moms, and they get it because they have children they're putting to sleep at bedtime every night. They're teaching their children, Mommy, why is there 100 pajamas in the living room? So their living rooms pretty much become our distribution center. And we have 3 reading centers, the one in New York City, which is our headquarters, one in New Jersey in Red Bank, and one in Westchester in Yonkers. So 3 reading centers where kids come and can read and take pajamas and books when they leave.
Excellent. So if there's a drive, let's say I'm out in California and I'm organizing a drive, so does that mean that people can donate pajamas and books, or is it just, or are you just getting the things from Carter's and from Scholastic?
No, we need more than we get from Carter's and Scholastic. They help tremendously, but we depend on everyone to do drives and to get us what we need, because the wait list is very, very long. So if you're doing a drive in California, you can see if we have a chapter president in California. You can call or email if we do, and they will tell you where they're needed, and you can make that delivery. If not, then you contact us with your zip code, and we will tell you where to bring your collection and what to do with what you've collected or what you want to donate, and we can make sure it stays local.
Great. Now, do you do anything with schools? That sounds like a great PTA or PTO.
It's a Scholastic drive, actually. Scholastic is doing a great Classrooms Care pajama drive right now. So if you are a Scholastic book buyer, then the classroom can be doing a drive, which is going on now. So we usually get over 50, 60,000 books from the classrooms. But whether or not you do it through Scholastic, yes, lots of groups do drives, and everything from children's groups to a 5-year-old's birthday party to a 50-year-old's birthday party to PTAs to Lions clubs to knitting clubs. So many groups are doing pajama drives and fundraisers too. And again, with the funding, you tell us where you are and note that in the check, and that goes to help us buy pajamas that get sent right back to your local community. So we can make everything local, no matter if you're one person doing a drive with family or if you're a big club doing a drive with 100 members.
That's fabulous. Oh, that's great. All right, so there's lots of opportunities out there for all of you who are watching to help out, and especially, as you said, in these colder months. It's got to be, boy, to have cozy pajamas. What a great thing for kids.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's danger season, so yes, it's cold.
Great. Well, Genevieve, I just want to thank you so much for being my guest tonight. You have a wonderful story and have such a needed and loving organization, and I'm so grateful to have met you.
Thank you, Janet. Thanks. It takes a lot of people to help.
Yep. Great. And if any of you can help out, I know she can use you. Great. Well, thanks so much. And next week, I have just in time for Thanksgiving, when we're talking about gratitude. Whoa, my guest next week, who I met at the same event that I met Genevieve at, Console Nishimwe. She is a survivor of genocide, the genocide that went on in Rwanda. And she has, you talk about a story. She has quite a story, a horrific story and a hopeful story. And she is an amazing woman, another superb woman. So join us next week, Superb Woman Sundays at 7. Have a fabulous week, a fabulous Thanksgiving, and we'll see you then.